The man named Tom was secretly eating chocolate. He leaned forward and scooped up a full spoonful. Before he could take a bite, he suddenly lost his grip, falling straight into a massive vat. When the firefighters arrived, only Tom's face was visible above the surface. He felt like he was being cooked alive. It turned out that the vat was constantly heated to prevent the chocolate from solidifying. The thick chocolate pressed against his body, restricting his blood circulation. If he wasn't pulled out soon, he might lose consciousness. The firefighters set up a ladder on the vat and slowly climbed to the top. Two of them worked together trying to pull Tom out. Just as they lifted him slightly, Tom was suddenly sucked back in. Buck nearly fell in with him. Hen quickly explained. Pulling forcefully upward created a low-pressure zone at the bottom which acted as a counterforce pulling Tom back down. It was like a chocolate version of quicksand. Everyone was at a loss. They handed Tom a tube to bite on, so he could still breathe if he sank again. Just then Chim rolled in a tank and started pouring liquid into the vat. "This is cocoa butter," he said. "It'll dilute the chocolate and reduce its viscosity." He handed Hen a shovel and told her to start stirring immediately. As they stirred forcefully, the chocolate became less sticky. The firefighters gripped tightly again, slowly pulling Tom upward. Seeing it was working, they stirred even faster. At last Tom was rescued. He probably never wanted to eat chocolate again. The boy just went to the toilet. Unexpectedly his back broke when he got up.
Oh God.
The boy was terrified, quickly dialed 911. Soon the rescue team arrived. Knocking on the door yielded no response. Firefighters decided to break in. Only then did they discover the immobile boy. Team quickly approached to check, carefully helping the boy up, then securing his neck. Subsequently, the paramedic checked and found his pulse and blood pressure to be normal, and the boy didn't seem to have symptoms of a stroke. This puzzled the paramedic, so she tried lifting the boy's arm, but as soon as she let go, the boy's hand dropped. The paramedic suspected a problem with nerve response, so she pressed on the boy's nerves and asked for reaction, but the boy's response were off.
I just want to get fit like everybody else, but I never thought it would kill me.
No, like pressure from my touch.
Oh, yeah, I can feel that.
Upon hearing this, the captain immediately inquired about the situation, and the boy finally revealed the truth. That day he happened to see a fitness advertisement, promising a physique like a Greek statue with diligent exercise. But how could the boy believe such claims? So he took out sweets and started eating. Unexpectedly, his phone pushed the same ad again. Seeing this, the boy immediately threw his phone aside. After dinner, he went downstairs to get the mail, but inside there was that same advertisement. This left him utterly confused. While sleeping that night, he accidentally pressed the remote control, turning on the TV, and the ad played again. The next day, when he went to buy pizza, he saw the ad once more. Then he noticed it on a taxi as well. At that moment, the boy was completely conquered by the advertisement, so he immediately bought fitness equipment and started following the exercises on his phone. The initial exercises went well, but when it came to doing push-ups, the boy couldn't do a single one. Fortunately, he soon reached his favorite activity, which was sit-ups. Excitedly, he did 300 in one go, but at that moment, the boy suddenly felt pain in his stomach, so he rushed to the toilet, accidentally knocking down the toilet paper, and then the scene from the beginning happened.
Oh God.
Upon learning that the boy did 300 sit-ups, the paramedic immediately understood the reason. The boy had induced muscle spasms and stiffness due to excessive exertion, but fortunately it was temporary. However, as the firefighters prepared to take him to the hospital,
You guys are pretty jacked. What kind of workout do you do?
I give up.
the doorbell rang. Miranda went to check, finding a package just as a brown sedan drove away. She assumed it was her husband Ned's order and shook it. The firefighters arrived soon, but Sergeant Grant reminded them that there might be other bombs at the scene. For everyone's safety, they should wait for the bomb squad before proceeding with the rescue. However, faced with Miranda's husband's desperate gaze, the firefighters had no choice but to take the risk. At that moment, Miranda was still conscious, but her breathing was shallow. The priority was to reduce the pressure in her body, or she could suffocate. As the crucial needle pierced in, the pressure in her chest was instantly relieved. Miranda finally caught her breath and was quickly rushed to the hospital. However, Miranda didn't know that the package was actually addressed to her husband Ned, the Superior Court judge. Meanwhile, Harry, just home from school, was thrilled to find a package at the door. Just as he was about to open it, his father Michael stopped him in time. Soon the police and bomb squad arrived at the scene, followed by the anxious Sergeant Grant, who was also Michael's ex-wife. Fortunately, thanks to Michael's quick reaction, the entire family remained safe. From the investigating officer, they learned that earlier that morning, an insurance adjuster had been killed in a bombing. Clearly, Sergeant Grant was the third target. The bot successfully deposited the package, just when everyone thought the danger was over. The police quickly discovered the connection between the three victims. They had once handled an arson case together. Victor, a struggling restaurant owner, had attempted to burn down his restaurant for insurance money, but the firefighter caught him in the act. As a result, Victor was sentenced to 6 years in prison. However, last month he was diagnosed with cancer and unexpectedly passed away in prison. His son Freddie was furious at the justice system and directed his hatred toward those involved in the case. That also meant that Bobby, the firefighter captain at the time, was the next target. The fire truck, which was supposed to respond to a fire, suddenly exploded midway. Poor firefighter Buck was trapped underneath, crushed by the massive truck weighing over 10 tons. As he lay there in agony waiting for rescue, a shadow slowly approached. The boy standing before him covered in explosives was Freddy, the same boy firefighters had risked their lives to save from a fire 3 years ago. But later investigations revealed that Freddy's father, Victor, had deliberately set fire to his own restaurant for insurance fraud. Right in front of Freddy, the police arrested his father, but Victor later died of illness in prison. Freddy, consumed by hatred, blamed one man for everything: firefighter Captain Bobby. But today Bobby was off duty. Unluckily, Buck became the scapegoat. Freddy stood there wired with explosives, and the police dared not move closer. Everyone could only wait anxiously. Freddy shouted, demanding Bobby to come out. For the safety of his team, Bobby stepped forward without hesitation. "You hate me, but my team is innocent," he told Freddy, but blinded by rage, Freddy refused to listen. Just as he was about to detonate the bomb, Sergeant Grant arrived with Freddy's mother. In that moment of distraction, the SWAT team moved in. Freddy was finally subdued, and justice awaited him. With the danger over, everyone rushed to rescue Buck, but the fire truck pinned him down so tightly that even with all their strength they couldn't move it an inch. Just as Chimney was about to call for reinforcements, a miracle happened. The bystanders rushed forward. Even the firefighters who had saved countless lives were deeply moved by the sight. With the combined effort of over 100 people, the massive fire truck was lifted with ease. Buck was finally rescued. A woman squatted on the toilet and forgot to turn off the camera, broadcasting herself using the restroom in front of all the employees. All the employees were astonished. Just moments ago, the woman was hosting a video conference. Meanwhile, a man was enjoying a sandwich. But at that moment, the woman suddenly felt some abdominal pain, so she grabbed her phone and went to the bathroom. Following that, a shocking scene unfolded.
Mary, no.
Mary, we can see you.
Realizing what had happened, the woman quickly turned off her phone. But the story didn't end there. As everyone reviewed the scene just now, they saw the man clutching his throat in agony, seemingly choked on the sandwich. He hurriedly ran behind a chair and tried to perform abdominal thrusts. After several attempts with no success, the man's face turned red and he couldn't speak. Suddenly, he collapsed to the ground. Rescue team quickly arrived. Everyone was very worried, not knowing if the man was still alive. Paramedic approached from behind and embraced the man, swiftly performing the Heimlich maneuver for immediate rescue. Lifting the 300-pound man was a bit challenging. With a loud sound, the man finally expelled the swallowed food.
He's gonna be all right, but tell your friend, smaller bites.
The man never thought that one day he would be swallowed by the foam. Just moments ago, the man went to help his sister renovate the house. Even borrowing a spray foam truck, he connected the pipes, started the control panel, and opened the valve. Smoothly operating the equipment, the man systematically sprayed foam, unaware that the pipe had folded into a dead end. At this moment, the spray gun suddenly stopped working. Thinking the pressure was insufficient, the man took out the controller and kept pressurizing, oblivious to the fact that the panel had issued a warning. Unexpectedly, an accident occurred. The man was tripped by the pipe and fell unconscious, while the massive amount of foam from the spray gun soon engulfed him entirely. When the firefighters arrived, the entire attic was filled with foam. Due to the excellent insulating properties of the foam, the detector couldn't locate the man. Firefighters could only continuously pound on the floor, hoping to get a response from the man. Suddenly, one firefighter pierced the roof, narrowly avoiding the man's head. Fortunately, they found his position and immediately brought in an iron frame to support the floor. They then chiseled the surrounding edges and dismantled the entire floor. The man had become one with the floor. With the combined effort of the firefighters, they finally pulled the man out from the foam and quickly lifted him onto the ambulance.